go back to, for people that didn't see this, I want you to see the video. For those of you that are watching on YouTube and Facebook, you'll see it. By the way, if you're on YouTube, make sure you're in our chat. Make sure you subscribe, give us a like, comment, spend some time here in the YouTube chat. There's a lot of people in there. Every day there are several hundred people in there battling it out back and forth. Sometimes they're talking about what we are on the show. Other times, more often than not, they're talking about whatever else is going on in the world. Like Trump this past weekend with his parade. You know, like, I'm going to leave the hospital. I'm going to go outside in a car. I'm going to have a parade. Who are the people? Like, I'm not going to say who are the Padre fans that were down on the streets. I know who you people are. But who are the people that are waiting behind barricades outside of a hospital, hoping, I guess, that the president is going to come parade around? Who are you people? What? You don't have anything else better to do in your life than wait outside of a hospital and hope that Trump comes flying by? And didn't I tell you last week?
They're great patriots, Scott.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you, I was skeptical last week. I'm like, I'm not really sure he's got it or he doesn't have it. And I told you that I thought
more skeptical now, or less?
Yeah, way more skeptical. I'm like, he's going to come out hands raised, victory, and he doesn't even have to come out hands raised. Just put it on Twitter. It's okay. Hey, look, it's a miracle if you want to know the truth, really. And so I'm like, I can't believe how many people were standing outside waiting for Trump to come, just cruising
Who
by.
had more people, the Padres or Trump?
I'm going to say the Padres. I'm going to say the Padres
too.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Padres. Okay, so Alex, show us some of this video from this past weekend downtown San Diego.
Yeah, so this is right after the game and right in front. You know where the bridge is leading over to the harbor side?
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the players come out. So that's where. Like, that's too close, Tatis. Like, that's just too close. Back up, man. I don't like how close he got to the people. But that was a lot of people out there, man. There's a lot of people.
Damn, for those of you that are listening.
And it was like foggy too.
Yeah.
It was like a cool look.
Yeah. For those of you listening, let me try and describe this to you. You know, if you're at Petco Park and you can look across the street to the Lexus lot, there's the walking bridge to the Hilton. And the players have come out and they're look, there's big barricades, but there's thousands of people. Tatis, maskless, by the way, walking around, taking selfies, shooting videos, jumping onto the team bus. The crowd just going absolutely nuts, crazy. And wow, I mean, that's damn impressive. I got to give it up to Padre fans. This city has been so hungry for so long for a winner. And when the Chargers left and took the heart of the city with them, the soul of the city was down, man. The soul of the city was real down for a long time. And I'll tell you, I really believe this. Fernando Tatis is to the Padres, it's my comparison here, what LaDainian Tomlinson was to the Chargers. When LT came to the Chargers were terrible. They were awful. And he was good behind a bad offensive line and a screwed up quarterback situation and a lot of drama inside of the organization. And the fact is that the Chargers as a franchise, they went out and got security at the coaching position, at least for a while. They started to get rid of some of the older players that weren't as productive as they once were. They essentially handed over their team and leadership to LaDainian Tomlinson. And then he made a long-term commitment, and the Chargers went on a run from probably 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8 in that neighborhood. Tatis is that guy. I mean, let me ask you guys this question. Where would this team be without Tatis?
Oh, they'd definitely be at home now. They would not have. I think there's something that he brought to the team that you can't measure. The energy and the excitement that he brings to the dugout, the way that they react to him, the way that they all gather around him for such a young age. I think that's something you can't measure that. It's not about hits or steals or plays made in the field. It's an energy and an aura that he has brought to this team. So I would definitely say no way. No way. They wouldn't have won 25 games without this guy.
I still think they're a good team. I still think that that lineup is stacked, man. I mean, that's crazy to say about the Padres. MLB came out with their rankings of the best lineups remaining in the playoffs, and they ranked the Padres number 1.
The Padres over the Yankees.
Over the Dodgers.
Padres over the Dodgers, right. The Padres over the Astros. They rank the Padres the number 1 lineup remaining. And it's you look at that and you go, wait a second. For all these years, what we heard was you can't compete financially. You just can't compete financially with the Dodgers and the Yankees. And what I said, I remember it so vividly. When the Kansas City Royals were in the World Series, I would get on the radio every day and I'd go, God, I want that so badly. I want what Kansas City has. I can't believe it. Small market team with a small payroll is competing with the big boys, and the city is going absolutely nuts. That's what I want. Well, we got it. The only difference is that if Tatis's contract were going to be done today, let me ask you guys a question. What is Tatis worth a year?
Tatis
Right now? What is Tatis worth right now per year?
Whatever Machado has.
Okay, so Machado's making $30 million a year. Is Tatis worth more?
35.
I mean,
Who makes the most?
Yeah,
Trout.
More, I think.
Yeah, more than Trout. Whatever Trout's making, $1 more than Trout. That's what they're gonna have to do if they're gonna look to show that. The further they go, the harder this will be for them to keep him on the cheap, because the more exposure.
Oh, we're getting a Browner breakup. Browner breakup.
Every time he's about to say something crazy,
really, I know. It's just as he's about to say something really interesting too. I think he's about to get going. He's about to start doing his Stephen B. Smith routine. Listen, here's what I'm getting at: is that the Padres have, in some respects, gotten very fortunate. They've gotten very lucky. The same way the Seattle Seahawks got lucky with Russell Wilson and they won a Super Bowl before they had to pay him. That's where the Padres are with Tatis. They've got a commitment of a $30 million a year player. This guy's the better of the two and the younger of the two. And I would think that he's certainly, his representatives would argue that he's the more valuable of the two. Could you imagine if the Padres were spending $35 million right now on Tatis and 30 on Machado? I mean, that payroll would get into that Dodger-Yankee sort of stratosphere. The beauty of what they're doing so far is that they are competing. They are considered better lineup, according to MLB right now, than the Yankees and the Dodgers, and they're doing it with a much lesser payroll because the superstar player, the most valuable player on the team, the most clutch player, the guy who's completely changed the entire organization, Tatis, is making rookie kind of money. Yeah.
But I don't want to do. I think that we're forgetting how really good Machado was this year too. Like, I know you're saying that Tatis is MVP of the Padres. I think Machado's going to get more MVP votes of the league because he was that good this year. So when I say I would say that they're equally as important. I think the two of them together make that unit go. Individually, yes. Are they really good, and are they both very important? Yes. But together, that's something that a lot of teams don't have. That third base shortstop combo where they're both going to hit for power, they're both hitting for average, they can both do. I mean, Machado's ridiculous on defense. Tatis has gotten way better. I think together they're just a unit that they cannot separate. However long Machado's signed, you better keep Tatis there too, because I think they tick together. Individually, can they operate and can they still be good? Yes, but together, those two guys are a unit that no one in baseball has.
I was making a great point before I magically disappeared into the internet. Where did I leave off?
Right away.
You were at the very beginning.
Okay, good. Because I believe, regardless of what happens, Tatis is going to be the face of baseball after this. And you're going to have to pay him whatever you're paying the highest guy. So I don't think it'll be 35. I think it'll be more around 40, 38 to 40. Whatever they ask for, the Padres have to give it up. Like, you literally can't say no, because the revenue that you'll actually generate by having this kid on your roster is going to be more than enough. So
how about the flip side? What if the Padres, and you'd have to look at his contract, Alex, to find out how long Tatis is under control.
5 years or something.
Yeah. So what if the Padres decided to play this out and they go, you know what, man, sorry, but that's just the way the rules of baseball work. We don't actually have to sign you now to that kind of a contract. And we'd rather
everywhere.
We just rather wait it out. We just, like everybody else in baseball, we'd rather just wait. Who knows? What if the kid gets hurt? I mean, we just rather wait it out. Could you imagine if hypothetically, if Tatis remains on this trajectory and call it 5 years out from now, you still haven't paid him because you didn't have to pay him theoretically. And then he left. And instead of it being $35 million a year now, in 5 years, it's $55 million. I'm just making up numbers here. Could you imagine the negative publicity that could come with your star player is walking out the door now?
I mean, it's very rare to see what the Braves did with Acuna. Like, that's a rarity. is that they gave a 21-year-old kid $100 million for an 8-year deal when you do have him in control for 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. Remember the whole thing with Chris Bryant? He got stayed in the minors for 12 days to get a whole extra year. So, I mean, it's rare to be like, here's $250 million, 21-year-old kid. Like, you don't see it often because they don't have to.
This is what I was gonna say, and be right before you said it. Chris Bryant. The Chris Bryant and his relationship with the Cubs is a disaster, and he's not gonna play for them anymore. And he was the face of that franchise. You do not want that here.
I agree. And I think the Padres will actually do it. I think the Padres will look at what they did in Atlanta and they'll say, you know what? Look, we've got him for 5, but let's see if we can do a 5 or a 6-year deal right now. And
because Machado can opt out after 5. So, I mean, that's the thing too. They could be waiting on that. Maybe we don't have to. What if Machado opts out and then Tatis is up at the same year? Like, it could be a disaster, or it could just be like a great decade of Padre baseball.
What's great about this conversation, though, is that we're not talking about the disasters of the past or the waiting for the future to come up from the farm system. We're talking about right now and the years upcoming, the next 5 years.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Nothing but positive way.